This is Capital Games. I'm the Wiz.
And I'm Zero.
Zero. We are
Yes.
at the beginning of the week of the 9th of January, 2023. Not much has happened, but you decided that you wanted to talk about something that's going on this week that a lot of people look forward to. And why don't you go ahead and talk about that right now?
Sure. So, as someone who's a former healthcare professional, one of the big things that I'm really into is medical charities that have generally some pretty good accountability. And usually during the early weeks of January, the Games Done Quick crowd will do their speedrunning event called Awesome Games Done Quick, which is held in early January, and it is considered the winter event for the speedrunning community in North America. They do have some international speedrunners who do travel to the events or appear on the streaming events. So there's that. This year they've decided to go remote for reasons that they mentioned on social media. I want to say back in summer of 2022. For anyone who likes the event being hosted in an actual physical venue, you may be a little disappointed that it's just a all online event this time around. But the speedruns have been absolutely wild so far. I've caught some of the intense replays of the speedruns that I missed on Sunday. Breath of the Wild, where you had a guy flying halfway across the map with a bomb clutched to Link's chest for like most of the way. So just very, very silly speedrun, very, very funny speedruns that have like crazy glitches and stuff like that. And then in some cases you have some people who are running the game completely glitchless and playing within the bounds of the game's rules and still finding ways to just shortcut through the game. And it's nothing but a fascinating time to look at just some of the games that you might have a very fond love of just being completely broken and beaten in just completely ludicrous times. Like earlier today, just there was a speedrun of the indie FPS game Cultic that recently released on Steam, and the developer actually showed up to help the streamer Chaos Wolf do commentary on his speedrun. And it was kind of fun because, of course, the speedrunner's talking about just all the tech and stuff that he's doing, and then you've got the commentary from the dev, Jason Smith, going, "Oh yeah, so the game loads this, that, and whatever's in this form or fashion, and yeah, Chaos Wolf here totally abused it or whatever." It was just so interesting kind of hearing a dev sort of pop in and just chime in with their thoughts on things. Yesterday there was an awesome speed run of Castlevania Symphony of the Night by Dragon Blitz, and this one was just where he was fighting all the bosses, including all the bosses in the inverted castle. He beat the entire game with all bosses in 32 minutes and 40 seconds. So it was just an absolutely wild time to see just move with such precision. It was almost machine-like, and all the while he's just kind of commentating for the most part, just talking about, hey, yeah, I'm using this tech, I'm using this particular speed tech. Yeah, this particular speed tech requires a triple frame perfect set of inputs. So, we might struggle, but, we'll see how far we get. And then just him knocking some of these inputs, it was just amazing to see. So typically it's a grand time to just see some of these crazy speed runs, but also they're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which lately they've gotten a little bit better about their accountability, and they've been doing some great stuff. And it's definitely a bit important to me, since I had a family member close to me that they had a relapse with cancer last year. Thankfully, they've been in remission, but it was still a bit of a scary moment. So this is an event that has become a little bit more important to me over the years.
Right, that's understandable. You mentioned that some developers show up to do commentary or to help out a speedrunner, or maybe that's a rare thing. Do we know of anybody else that might be showing up that might make an appearance?
Earlier today, when when the Spider-Man Miles Morales speedrun was kicking off, a bunch of the Insomniac developers actually donated quite hard with like $100, $200 donations, and basically just kind of gave their love to the speedrunning community. They're just like, hey, love to see that our game's being broken. I'm with team A, team B, team C, and I worked on this thing, that thing, or whatever. Hope you guys really kill it, because we're looking forward to it. Just real heartwarming stuff to kind of see even a big name developer sort of just pop in and show up to just express their love of just watching some of their games just get completely torn apart.
So we're not really expecting, like, let's say, an announcement of a game coming out or anything along those lines? This is just speedrunning, and that is essentially it?
Yeah, so typically there aren't any big game companies that do any sort of big announcements during the Games Done Quick marathons, either Awesome Games Done Quick or Summer Games Done Quick. Typically, it's just more focused about the charity and just trying to raise funds for whichever charity is being showcased. Whereas right now with Awesome Games Done Quick, the showcase charity is the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and then the summer charity, which is Summer Games Done Quick. That one focuses on Doctors Without Borders, and that's another pretty important charity for me, being a former healthcare professional.
Are there any speedruns that you're looking forward to?
As far as speedruns that I'm looking forward to, I think Wednesday is probably going to have some really, really good ones. You've got Dead Space 3 co-op, and that takes place at 12:26 a.m. Central Time. I think that one's going to be really, really insane, mostly because co-op speedruns, there's just so much coordination, there's just so much synchronization between two players, and they almost kind of have to read each other's minds in order to just get the speedrun to go off without a hitch. So that one seems like it's going to be really intense to see. Wednesday also has a speedrun of either Pokemon Red or Yellow, which I believe there's currently a bid war going on for which version that the streamer Poke Guy is going to be playing. And this one is unique because they'll be beating the game as fast as possible, but they will not be abusing or exploiting any glitches at all. So they're going to be restrained within the boundaries of the game, which those kind of speedruns are interesting because it's either they know how to basically exploit the stats and basically build like a Pokemon team that just can burn through most stuff, or just they end up kind of doing a bunch of preparation and setup to just steamroll some gyms and stuff like that. So the Pokemon glitches speedruns are always great to see. And that one takes place at 5:45 p.m. Central Time. And then the other one that I think is probably going to be just absolutely insane to see is Neon White, and they're doing the White's Heaven Rush content, and that one is estimated with a completion time of 40 minutes. That one's probably going to be insane, especially for anyone who remembered one of the earlier episodes of this podcast where I was playing Neon White when it just came out. Mm-hmm. And that game is just nothing but speedrunning tech right there. So someone speedrunning this game for the Awesome Games Done Quick charity event, being a speedrunner, there's probably going to be some insane maneuvering that is probably just going to absolutely amaze and dazzle anyone who's played Neon White.
This is going on from, it started yesterday, Sunday, and it's going on until when?
The finale is actually going to be on Sunday morning, Saturday night at 12:51 a.m. And that's when they will close out everything. Before their finale announcement, when they do the final tallies of all the donations, the final speedrun of the entire event is going to be Super Mario Bros. 3, and they will be doing it without abusing any warps. So, and that the completion time on that is estimated at about an hour. So that's going to be just absolutely bonkers to see, just the movement and speed technique used for that kind of a speed run. So again, just it's probably going to be really, really insane to see. And then even a little bit before then, some really solid speedruns to kind of lead up to the closer. You've got Metroid Dread with a 1v1 all bosses glitchless race, where just both speedrunners will be trying to race for the fastest time, beating all the bosses but using no glitches. And another one that's going to be real interesting to see before the closing ceremonies and stuff is Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and they're doing an Old Souls run, and that's estimated to take about an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, just the final day is usually when you get some of the most insane and most hyped up runs, mostly because of the fact that just save the best for last to try to drive up the donations. I would say that if cancer has affected your family or friends or anything, definitely consider donating to the Awesome Games Done Quick charity. What they usually do is during certain time blocks or certain blocks of games, they will usually have prizes that you can only donate to during that time, but they also have some weekly evergreen prizes that you can donate to. I think this year one of the prizes you can donate towards is a gaming PC by Skytech Gaming, and I think the minimum donation is like either $50 or $100 for the entire week. During like certain blocks, you'll have theme prizes that you can only get during those times. Like for example, one of the great ones was from earlier today, where there was a Yakuza Kiwami speedrun, and Sega of America actually donated a pretty generous prize pack that included a Steelbook edition copy of Judgment and a copy of Shin Megami Tensei, the 5, the limited edition, that had the sling bag inside the box as well, and Sonic Mania on PS4, the limited edition with the holographic slipcover, and the replica Yakuza Clan pins as well too. And that only had a donation lockout of $25 to be eligible to get that particular prize pack. So yeah, just nothing but cool prizes if you're kind of into that sort of thing. So, or you get to pick the prizes if you donate during a certain block of time, and of course, if you get the prizes, then it's always an exciting time. I assume getting the email that says, "Hey, guess what? You won the drawing for this prize or whatever." Unfortunately, I can't donate this year, but if anyone wants to send us an email with a screen grab of you making a donation in the name of our podcast, I don't think we'd oppose to give your name a shout out on the next podcast.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If there's any fans of the Awesome Games Done Quick or Summer Games Done Quick events, leave your comments in the comments section. We'd love to see if you have any particular favorite speedruns for this week, or if there are any other speedrun events that you would recommend people to tune into. I know the European Speedrunning Association, they have their event that takes place, I think this year it's scheduled to run sometime in February. So that's pretty good for anyone who is based out in Europe, because I think they focus on more European-centric charities. I think one of the other speedrunning events that's also kind of cool to see is, I think it's called RPG Limit Break. And that one focuses, as the name says, purely on RPGs. And they're just trying to burn through RPGs as fast as possible. So you're talking stuff like multi-man relay races of Final Fantasy VII, because the original game covers a swath of hours that you've got to have speedrunners sort of work as a team to rotate. When one gets tired, they can kind of sit on the bench for a bit, maybe take like a quick power nap, and then just 1 or 2 hours later just come back and take a shift or something. You've got stuff like that, but then you've got glitch races where people will just abuse the living hell out of every single mechanic in an RPG and just beat it at a ridiculous time. So those are the ones that I'm personally aware of, but yeah, just would love to hear from the comments section if there's any other speedrun events that you think should be highlighted a little more.
Yeah, definitely let us know what you think were good speedruns, so maybe we can check them out. I know you have the stream on 24/7, so you're checking out everything as long as you're awake. But yeah, any good ones, let us know which ones, so we can check out the VODs later. All right. Well, that does it for this segment of the Capital Games channel. Tune in next time where we talk about more stuff that's going on in the gaming industry. Hopefully there's more stuff that comes up. Otherwise, we'll have a video soon, around in the next couple of days. All right. I am the Wiz.
And I'm Zero.
And we'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thank you for checking out Capital Games, where we cover the business side of the video game industry. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed the video. You can also subscribe to the podcast if you prefer to have it on your podcast feed. And check us out on our socials and email us if you have a question, comment, or suggestion. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll hear from you next time.